Thank you for joining me for this tutorial, Introduction to Styles in Servoy 4.0. Styles are a really great thing. They're based on cascading style sheets, but they're not quite as flexible as browser-based cascading style sheets because we're not working in a browser. They're limited to object types, so you can have different styles for fields, labels, buttons, tab panels, etc. You can have unlimited subclasses of the main class. That means that you can have an unlimited number of different field types and label types and button styles, all of those kinds of things. You can also have as many different individual styles as you want, so think of them as style sheets. You can make dozens or hundreds of styles if you really want to. And then you can apply those same styles to many different forms on many different solutions, so you have a consistent look and feel across all of your solutions. The way that you set the style is at the form level, so either when you create it or after it's already been created, and you can always override individual properties of individual elements that have been styled. When you use styles, one more great reason to use styles is because it really cuts down on the amount of time it takes your solution to load. It's much more efficient to load a style sheet than it is to go out and get all of the attributes for every single object. And with that, let's pop over into Servoy Developer and see how it works. All right, I have my intro to styles. I haven't made any forms yet, so I'll just make a quick one. We'll use my famous customer form. And notice right here, here's the style. You can go ahead and set the style at this point in time. So we'll set ours to none just for fun. And then we'll go next. I'll choose a couple of columns. And there we have our form. So I can come up to launch my smart client, take a look at how that looks. So notice the gray background. It's got a white field because these are editable, and this gray field is gray. So let's close this. Now we'll go ahead and change the style. So I'll click on the form. We'll scroll down to the bottom here, and at the bottom it has style name. So if you double click this, you'll see Web CRM. So as soon as you click it, notice how all of the objects changed. They're bold now. There's a light gray to the field backgrounds. So let's save that, and we'll view it in our smart client, and you'll see, oh, look. So now the background is white, the labels are bold, and the fields are gray. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, that's the concept of styles. You can stylize objects. So let's go ahead and create our own style. If you come over here to Style, right-click, say Create a New Style, give the style a name. I'm going to call this one Bob Temp. Click Next, and you can choose to fill it with sample content. So we'll go ahead and just take that and say OK. So now we have our style. Notice it's called bobtemp.css, and here's our field style at the top, and this is our default field style with the background color and a border set of inset and a font of Verdana and text alignment set. So let's see how this looks on our form. So I'm going to come back over here to Customers, and I'm going to go down to the Style, and I'm going to choose Bob Temp. Notice how it changed to red, bold, inset fields. So let's save that, and again view it in our smart client. So I'm going to come back to our style, and now I'm going to make another kind of field. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say field.bold. So it's this dot bold afterwards that's called a subclass. So this is the default field type, and this bold will inherit everything that I don't override. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, let's take this. I'm going to paste it back in here. So I'm going to say font, and let's make it 12-point Verdana bold. All right, and I'm going to save this now. Again, the same way. You just click Save. I could come down here to the Style class and simply just change it to that bold, and that field would take over those characteristics. As I mentioned before, I can go and override anything else manually, so even if I have the default style, and I want to change the background color. I can double-click the background color. Let's choose something bright yellow or orange, yellow. All right. So this field now has all the same properties as the default field, but I've overwritten this background color with this bright yellow color. And you can do the same thing for any element. Well, that's about it. Styles are pretty easy. They're pretty straightforward. You can get some more information on which objects support what type of properties in the documentation, either the PDF or online. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.